Hey everyone, thank you again for tuning in to Eye Opener Society, and thank you for joining me on this Monday's episode. And sadly, missing is Lizzie. She has two children at home that aren't feeling well, so she has the right to go and take care of them. So she will not be joining us on this episode. However, she's here with me in spirit and in heart, as always. She's one of the greatest people in my life right now, because she's been so helpful in life and working with this show. She earns the title of co-creator because I like using words because they set intentions. That's why I dropped podcast from you know, my show and I changed it to an actual show. And I don't like to have her as a co host. She is co creator of my vision here at Eye Opener Society. So, anyway, I wish she was here because I think this opens up a good discussion. And who knows, we could probably always have her on at another date. But I wanted to talk about something that I seen. There was this constant debate going on, and I don't like the arguing behind it. I try to achieve some sort of peace in everything, but spirit workers, light workers, people that have the ability to communicate beyond. Now, listen, that's all of us. It's not limited to just certain people. We all have those abilities somewhere within us. Does not have to, mean that we all are able to tune into it. However, I'm just specifically mentioning the ones that do have these gifts and are applying it in life. There is this debate as to whether, if they offer their services, should we be paying them? And it's almost a comical debate because we are allowing our egos into this discussion all the time. So let me lay it out. Let's say you have discovered your inner ability to heal someone. And let's just say you can heal their anxiety, just as an example. However, it is you do it, you meet this person and you're able to actually heal their anxiety going by whatever methods it is that you use. And you do this for friends, family, maybe a few people that, cross your life. And then you realize spiritually inside of you, you want to help many other people. So you start basically a practice or a business or whatever it is, and you set rates based upon, what you feel is reasonable. I do not know, and I'm trying to remain neutral in this, why people find this to be so outrageous and start discriminating light workers or healers and saying that they're not real and, because they're charging money. This is the debate that's going on. So, what really is the issue with this? Why are people so upset when someone has to charge a fee for a service being provided? And why would they say you're not a true light worker because of that? Now, I do get some of the things. Uh, yes, money is money. We're living right now in a 3D world, and that's unfortunately where we are stuck. Of course, our souls are above that, and we can, transcend well above the third dimension and all. And we do that through our healing and our light work and whatever it is. However, our physical bodies are here in this 3D world, and it's all encompassed through capitalism and money and whatnot. So it doesn't make sense to say you will not charge. Can you do it for free? Absolutely. Do some people do it for free? Absolutely. But we really need to put things into perspective. First of all, it's really not about money. It boils down to trust or vulnerability, maybe power, because people are seeking healers and spirit workers, whenever they're hurting, lost, grieving, or they're desperate for some sort of meaning. So once money enters this conversation, the fear now enters with it. Am I being taken advantage of? Is this real, or am I being sold hope? And then that fear turns into anger. So here's the thing. Are there people out there to scam other people? Absolutely. I'm not going to deny that. There are people, and that's in any business that you go into. I take auto mechanics all the time because I've been so closely associated with that in my life. Are there shops that charge reasonable prices and are completely honest with their diagnosis and do the job correctly? Tons of them. Absolutely tons of them. Are there shops that are taking advantage of people, charging way more than they should, and, are not being honest with the work? There is. Buyer beware. You are the consumer, no matter what it is, even in the metaphysical world. So when it comes to this idea of pure spiritual work, it's almost a mythic belief that true spiritual work should be selfless, sacrificial, unpaid, and detached from all material needs. And there are some people that believe in that philosophy and they follow that philosophy. There's differences on every level. However, that ignores one uncomfortable truth. Spiritual workers still live in the physical world. All right. We have rent, families, nervous systems, bills. It goes on and on. So, we can't really expect someone to give endlessly without receiving anything back. And here's the cold hard truth. You could take some people that are, whether they're a light worker or whatever, even I'm going to go down very easily to the tarot readings. People for years have been doing tarot readings and they charge, to do a tarot reading. What are you paying for? Well, you're paying for that practitioner's time and that effort. It's not easy for a lot of people to just always give free readings. And guess what? If you like somebody who does tarot readings, sometimes if you follow them online, they will sit there and give free general readings. And you could follow that all the time. My practice, meditation. All right. I'm going to go back and I'm going to, follow this up with a little something different, outside the money. But when I did the meditation coaching, it was my time. It's nothing for me to write out or sit down and do a meditation session with somebody. I could not charge a dime for that. But when it involves time away from my real job, time away from possibilities of making overtime, time away from my family, taking care of them, where is, what's going to fill that void? So this has become something I wanted to speak about because, again, I don't think people are realizing something very crucial. There's differences between charging versus exploiting. We're not guaranteeing miracles. Are some people preying on fear? Promising certainty when none exists? Well, yeah, again, this does happen. And again, it boils down to buyer beware. You're the consumer. You should know when you're being taken advantage of. That's up to you. It's really not up to anybody else. We shouldn't shut down the whole paid services or, just for the fact that you don't feel comfortable with somebody. If you don't, you back out. You don't give them any money. But it boils down a lot to now. Time. Time happens to be currency now. They charge for their own jobs and we all expect fair wages. So we want to protect our personal time. So energy work, counseling, mediumship, whatever they are, they're emotionally taxing. My wife is an empath. She can heal. I know it. I've seen it. There's things she can do. But the physical effects that, take toll on her body, that I don't think people realize. And that taxing and that time should be somehow compensated for. It's not that she wouldn't do it for free, and often she does. She's done many things for free, but money is just an energy. It's an exchange of energy. Can we offer something else more than money? You know, should we offer a service for a service? Absolutely. I see no reason for that. I see no reason for a sliding scale based upon people's income. And I know many light workers whom do that. And again, there's always a free side to them and then a paid side to them. It all depends on how much time and effort is going to go into whatever the service is. All right. So there is a big difference between generosity, accessibility, and sustainability. All right. Because, yeah, healers sometimes do offer free content. Find those people, it's out there. They volunteer and sometimes they hold space in informal ways. All right. But free work cannot be the only work, or it's going to collapse under its own weight. So, going back to my meditation, it's the same thing. If I was doing meditation practices, yeah, I could be generous to anybody. I could give free, and I often did. Even today, now with my practices that I do, I've been working with many people for free just because right now I don't have an energetic exchange for money. I have a full time job that's providing that. So now here is where it gets different. Many people started bringing up Jesus Christ, and that's wonderful. And they were saying, well, he never charged for his miracles. If we go back to those days, I don't think Jesus really had to worry about paying rent, paying taxes, paying for a car, paying for insurance on his miracles. He didn't have to worry about people suing him because a miracle didn't work out to their favor. These are realistic things that have taken place through all these ages to the current time. Many practitioners, sadly, they open up a shop to welcome people in for their services. Well, how are they going to keep that roof above their head if they're not charging for these services? And then people bring up churches. Well, churches are always looking for donations. There's always a donation thing going around all the time, especially in the, Catholic Church. If you love going to church and you love praying and you love the sermons, what happens when you go one day and the church has closed its doors because there was zero money involved and they couldn't keep things open? This is exactly what happens in real life right now. We cannot just expect handouts all the time. Absolutely. If someone came to me really needing a service, and like I said, I'm doing it now for free, come to me and I will talk to you. I can help you. But again, if someone came to me whom I know is working and is making okay money and all, and they're expecting so much from me, large sessions that take up more than an hour of my time, daily sessions, if I decided to charge for that, I don't think I'm in the wrong. Again, it's just for my time. That's all it is. So I want to bring up something else too, because again, yes, Jesus Christ didn't have all of these things that are in the modern world that cost money. So the thing I've always been against is these certifications too. It's one thing if you are an actual physician, doctor, an attorney or something. You need schooling and you need something to prove it. Now, here's the thing I'm going to say, and I haven't announced this yet, but I'm in school right now for metaphysics. I plan on starting a church myself. So I wanted to have that schooling, that background, because it's demanded now. I've been told before, too, when it comes to meditation, alone. Somebody wants a certification behind you, some fancy thing behind you that says you're certified to do this. But the thing is, it comes naturally, just like a healer. Again, nobody asked Jesus Christ for a certification, but right now people want that. So now I go to school and I am training, and it costs money to get that certification. Those same people that wanted the certification, I can't see them now coming to me and saying, well, why are you charging? Well, because you are expecting me to have something educational wise in the form of a piece of paper that's going to cost me money. I need to make up for that loss. It's just a sad yin and the yang. There's always going to be a force against nature. There's going to be people that don't mind paying, and there's people that are going to mind paying. Then there's people that want to pay but can't pay. Pay attention to those people. Those are the ones that probably deserve a little bit more leniency, a little bit more free services. But again, not everybody should be expecting that. That's where I have a real problem with. So again, yeah, when it comes to these certifications, when it comes to classes, when it comes to Jesus Christ, there is no certifications. There is no liability insurance, proof of training, degrees. Jesus didn't need any of that. It didn't exist. Everybody knew he had a gift of healing, and people today have that gift of healing or intuition or whatever it may be. If they choose to use that practice to help people, you should not be in a position to tell them that they're wrong for charging for it. They wouldn't be able to sustain their own life doing only that practice without having some sort of exchange of something monetary. Again, some work for bartering and trading of services, but not many, because many of them are trying to live themselves. So, my dear audience, I do not charge. And if I do, it's going to depend on what it is you need from me. I work with meditation. I work with grounding. People come to me with all sorts of problems. They just need someone to listen to them. What I have in me and what I'm learning, and it's very late in my life, so things gradually have to be taught, self-taught from me. I'm continuing my education now. I'm getting a certificate or a degree that I'm going to be able to put up on my wall. Whether or not I decide to charge people for that, well, that's going to be up to me. And I'm going to be fair, non-biased, and I might have a hybrid system where I'll do some things for free and I'll do some things where I charge. And once I get my church established, everything's going to be done by donation. And that's usually what I like to do, is donation wise. You pay me what you feel you want to pay me, whether that be in actual physical currency or if that's in the form of a service that you could give me. I'm fine with that. But I feel for all of the other practitioners out there that are trying to struggle and make a living. And I just want to make this point very clear. Most of us are trying to get away from these 9-to-5 jobs. And that's one thing we keep pushing to people, saying, don't waste your life doing something that you're going to, that's going to, steal your fun out of life for all these years. Wait until you're way up there in age to retire. You've heard that story before. We push you to explore something new, to live by. And if you happen to reach inside of yourself and you happen to have an ability that you can share with others, and you choose to use that as momentum to get away from the matrix and start doing things on your own, and you're charging for it, I feel there's no issue with that. I respect everyone's opinion. I really do. And if you feel otherwise, listen, I'm going to explain this. Since we all have these gifts within us and you do not feel like paying for these services, there's free things all over, just like meditation. You don't have to pay anybody to do meditation. There's free stuff on YouTube and all these other social medias that you can listen to. Is it personalized? Is it directed towards you? No, it's not. Does it work? Absolutely. Not to the extent that you would think it should work. But you have those options. And if not, and you really don't want to pay for anything, and you really need healing, learn on your own. I will stress this again. We all, every single one of us, have these capabilities to heal ourselves and others. We all have some sort of intuition. We all have some sort of ESP, whatever it may be. We have to learn it ourselves. And if you don't want to pay somebody to teach you to do it, then teach yourself. Because here's the real true statement, the most truest statement. No matter who you pay to heal, the healing actually comes from you. The practitioner is a tool that's going to spread that healing energy. But if you do not believe that that worked, it will fail. So again, you are the true person responsible for everything on your own, whether you want to pay for it or not. You are still responsible 100% for everything about you, including healing and including finding what you can do. And then you decide whether you want to charge people or not. I love everybody. I thank you for tuning in. This is something I just wanted to share because, again, we all need to come together in some way. And I pass no judgment on those of you who feel that you don't want to pay anything. I still would like to work with you, even if it's for free. I don't judge you for your opinions, and we shouldn't be judging others because they decided to make a choice as to how they want to live out their lives, their professions, and or how to give their power to you. My name's Gary Dean. This is Eye Opener Society. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see everybody really soon. I thank you very much.